All right, so let's go into here, and at the moment we have our BP test O1, which is over here. Not really much happening, and I guess what I'm thinking here is, well, I want to create an initial interactable, and I'm thinking of some sort of pickup, something that exists in the world that I can look at and interact with. I can hit my interact key and it does something. So it's probably going to like disappear and maybe provide something to my character. I'm not too sure exactly what just at the moment, but what I wanted to do, what I wanted to have is actually some sort of pickup. The reason I'm saying that is because at the moment we kind of have the bare bones of that. I mean, this is not a very complicated blueprint. We have a cube, which has a material on it, and that probably is going to provide a fairly good base for our for some sort of pickup. In fact, we can even use this as a pickup. So let's just close this one. Come back to our content, and I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call it BP pickup 01. Control Shift S means it's saved, and let's open it up and see what we got. All right. So this is exactly the same as what we just had now, but the thing is, now we are going to use our interface blueprint instead of using these things here. In fact, we will use that, but we're not going to be calling this one so much. So, all right, fine. If we just look on the left-hand side here, remember we've got our components, and we have our graphs, which we're looking at right here, and we've got some functions as well. We also have some overridable functions I haven't spoken about previously, but we can have a look at our overridable functions. So we've got a whole lot of those here too, which are generally the override functions are functions that exist in the parent class that we can override. So the parent class of this one, if we look up at the top right hand corner, is just a plain actor class. So all of these belong, you can see here, to the actor class, so we can do that. So we have macros, variables, and event dispatchers down here as well. So how do we tell this class, hey, I want you to support this class here? So if we go to class settings, unless they've moved it, we should find something called interfaces down here. And we have implemented interfaces, and we also have inherited interfaces. At the moment, it's saying no interfaces at all. We can add an interface. And, well, BP, was it BP I? That's right. BPI. Interactable, and you see there it is right there. So when we do that, okay, so now we have BPI interactable. Now what's happened on the left hand side here is that now we have another section called interfaces, and if we open that up, hey, look at this. This is kind of interesting. We have something called interact, and then we have get screen message. I don't really need to change any of this right at the moment. Let's just do I don't know what event from interface. Interact. Oh, this is what I was saying before about reserved words. I'm wondering, because that's saying event from interface interact. Function from interface get screen message. Okay, let's keep going. I guess I'd normally be a little bit safe and use something not quite called interact. So the thing is, if the programmers in Unreal have used that as what we call like a reserved word, so there is like an event specific in the game called interact, then we shouldn't use it because it can cause problems. I've already used my interact. Let's see what happens. Anyway, let's right click on this. Hang on, it's saying event from interface interact. Let's come into here. I just want to check something. Let's go to add and just say interact. Interact interactable interface, viewport interactable. So if you're ever unsure, you can come into here and have a look and see what there is. So we've got a couple of different ones here. It doesn't really seem to be a problem. So there is nothing actually just called interact on here. So okay, let's give it a go. Event from interface interact. This is called interactable. I'm worried. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it because if it is a reserved word, then you know things are bad. Let's just compile and save that, and come back into here. And I'm just going to change the name of this. I've already got my interact. I don't want to double up on that one. I don't know. Let's call it interact with. That's going to be pretty safe. And compile. All right, that should have been. There we go. Is this the same? Okay, it is the same. So we might have been okay with that, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we go. All right, so we have our two interface functions. If we want to implement them, all we need to do is right-click and then say implement event. Bang, and there it is. Now we could even we've got what the code we were already using. So let's just duplicate that. Control D. And now let's just change the message, the beginning of the message, and say BPI. Hey, we interacted. So that's our interact with. And the other one we want is the get screen message. Oh, hang on, what have we got? Open graph, get screen message. Oh, that's interesting. Let's open the graph. That's what I expect. And then you've got screen message. So why are they different? This is a very interesting question. Okay. Well, it looks like there's a few changes from version 4, but yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll live with it. The reason, if you have programmed in any other language, say C++ or whatever, you'll realize that you normally have to create your getters and setters, we call them, for any variable that is accessible externally. So we have get screen message here. I've called it get screen message up here, haven't I? Get screen message, right? And well, it's giving me the right thing. So I'm okay with it. I'm assuming this is what we get. So what we want to do is come down to here, screen message, control, drag, bang, and then we just pop that into there and compile and save. And that's really all we need to do. So let's, we've got BP pickup 1, so this is different to the others. The other thing I might do is actually maybe just change the color so we know that we're dealing with something different. So let's go and maybe grab a different material. Whoops. So what I'm looking for starter content, materials, and just something to distinguish it a little bit from my other things. What about gold? Why not? Let's just make it look gold. There we go. So that's our pickup. It looks very pretty. All right. So let's come back into here. BPs, and now we just drag this one in and drag it up. Oh, the other thing I need to do to make sure we don't mess things up. Screen message. We should be able to. Let's just turn that off. Cube category tooltip. Okay, and I'm also going to get rid of my interactor. I could delete that as well, but it's probably not too much of a problem. But I just want to make sure this is the one that's being called. And we're going to have to change the character as well. So what we're doing at the moment, we're saying cast to. So we're going to change that. And we want to say, let's just drag off there. So this is the actor. So what's coming out here is something of type actor. So it only has, at this point, all we know it's an actor. So all we have is the ability to run the same functions and events that occur on the base actor class. What we need to do to get access to that is, the first thing we can do is do a cast. So, can I cast that to BP test 1? The other thing we can do is to say, does it support this particular interface? So if I go interface, and then come down here and does implement interface, right down the bottom, of course. And then we can select the type of interface, the interface we want, and it's BPI interactable. Okay, so this time I'm going to have to change some of the code in here. Now, I think that's okay. I think that'll be okay. Yeah. Okay, so... All right, I hate destroying some of this stuff, but all right, let's just, do we need that? Don't really need that anymore, do we? Oops. Let's pull that off there. And we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to replace it with, so it's returning, and then we want to find out, does it support this? Now we could... No, I think the best way to do it, okay, best way to do it is like this. So we drag off here, if, so we're going to branch, and then just drag our Boolean return value. Does it implement the interface to here? If true, we don't want to go to here. We're going to skip that. We're not doing our cast anymore. We're going to go straight to here. If false, then we're going to come back down to here. All right, so all this is taken out. I'm going to leave it there because I just dislike deleting things mostly. And you might come and have a look at this if you download it and want to see how it worked previously. So we're doing that. Does it implement my interactable interface? Now, okay, we've got something here which we need to change. So this is of type BP test 01. Now that's no longer the case. That's not my hit object. So what do we need to do? I think we can just change that to an actor. Basic actor, object reference to an actor. I mean, I do want to do it. Yeah, change variable type. It's not doing very much. Okay, let's change it. Let's say no. Okay, we'll come back here, and instead, let's just do promote to variable. Hit actor. Let's call it. Let's say BP interface again, so we know we got that. All right, we'll do it that way. It's getting messy. Apologies, it's getting messy. I know. So, oh, we don't want to do that, do we? We don't want to call this is the old way of doing it as well. So we don't want any of those. In fact, instead, what we can now do. So this was set screen text. So what we can do now is we need get screen text. There we go. And and then we just put that into here. So let's put all this up here. No. Let's just put all this up here. I'm going to duplicate this because we want to do our set screen text from here. Duplicate that. And we've got the screen text from our interactable. And that's going into there. And if we don't hit anything, we're actually clearing our screen text there. So I'm just going to grab this and hit C for comment. Old code before BP interface. All right, so that's up there. So I think that should work. Should work. Let's give it a go. So we should be able to go into here now. We do need to set one thing first. Oh, silly me. I turned that off. Let's turn that back on. So we need to be able to set our text. Screen message. I am a pickup. There we go. So we should be able to come in here now. There we go. We'll come over to here. And hey, look. So this is now using our interface, which is fantastic. And if I hit the interact key, nothing happens. Oh, why is that? Why is nothing happening? Let's quickly have a look. What have we done? We haven't implemented the interact properly. So we need to first of all get this one. So let's just drag with a control, convert that to a validated get. And then we want to interact with like that. So let's get rid of that one. And hang on, let's Control C, Control V. Down there, I'm going to grab that. So this is still our interact key. Okay, and it's calling interact with, which is our interactable class, interface class. Let's just change this, input interact. BP interactable. That should work now. So it's all it's doing here, it's calling this one. Let's give it another go. There we go. If we hit E and we get our interaction. Fantastic. So the great thing now is that we can apply this really to any object or any blueprint in our scene. It doesn't have to be a particular class, and it's going to support all of this interaction. And now we have it in our character, so we don't have to really add any particular code in there to support our interaction. So what I'll do when we'll pause again here, I'll come back, and I'll probably have a look at adding it to a couple of other objects, particularly I guess the door might be one we need to play around with. So we'll pause here and come back.